Ladies and gentlemen, ख़वातीन और हज़रात, वेलकम और खुश आमदीद आपको टू द गॉडफादर एंड द पॉडफादर, पाकिस्तान का प्रीमियर मिक्स मार्शल आर्ट्स शो, जिधर हम सारी न्यूज़, सारी फाइटें, सब कुछ एनालाइज, ब्रेक डाउन करते हैं आपके लिए. इफ़ यू जस्ट जॉइनिंग अस हियर ऑन द माइक, प्लीज़ डू लीव अ लाइक, अ शेयर, सब्सक्राइब एंड अ कमेंट. और अगर आप रेगुलर विजिटर हैं, आप भी सब्सक्राइब का बटन दबाएं, क्योंकि वी चेक द स्टैट्स एंड अ लॉट ऑफ यू aren't subscribing for some reason, so please do that. Bashir bhai, Bashir Ahmad, Godfather, Som Chai, whatever you want to be called. I mean, you got to tell me. I need a proper introduction for you. How are you doing, my friend? And how's everything?
I'm doing well. I'm just अभी इफ्तारी हो रही है, तरबूज, पुदीना और नारियल का पानी. So yes, it's amazing. It just feels so good. Just finished my workout, having my iftar, and going to talk about some Pakistani MMA. So
let's go.
Good evening so far.
Yeah, I like that. A lot has been happening. बहुत कुछ हुआ है पाकिस्तानी mixed martial arts की दुनिया में since the last episode, which was a live episode, by the way. We did it on Instagram live. तीन चार चीजें हुई हैं बड़ी बड़ी. I think सबसे पहले, why don't you choose? What do we start with? We have Legacy Fight Series. We have KO1.
बस, yeah, just बताएं Karachi में क्या हुआ. Tell me about Karachi, because that this was a very momentous weekend that passed by in Karachi.
Yes,
historical
sir.
milestone, huge. So tell me, I want to hear about it. We haven't had a chance to talk.
Okay.
But हमने वैसे भी podcast के बाद भी नहीं बात की इसके बारे में. बताएं.
That's true. That's
Please.
true. Very true.
Let's hear it.
कराची से बात शुरू करते हैं. Why not? We got two things to talk about जो हम कराची की बात करेंगे. Legacy Fight Series and KO1. The big thing, Bashir भाई, is that both these events, ये दोनों events एक हफ्ते के अंदर हुए हैं. Wednesday, March 23rd, KO1 brought to you by K7 Academy, who has now put together this fighting promotion. उसी वजह से जो बाकी लोग भी fighting promotions की वजह से शुरू करते हैं, which is to promote fighters, promote fights. Let's start with KO1 and then we'll build up to Legacy. हम Legacy की बात करेंगे थोड़ी देर में. KO1 से अगर हम शुरू करें, 23rd March उन्होंने नेक्स्ट डेट अनाउंस कर दी है, August 14th. सबसे पहले मैं ये कहना चाहूँगा कि वेरी नाइस, ये सारे जो नेशनल हॉलीडेज है उन पे फाइट नाइट्स रख रहे हैं. आई लाइक इट. Now here's the thing. KO1 brought to you, of course, by K7, which is spearheaded by Jamil Chandio, Rizwan Khan Orakzai, all of the amazing people over at K7. Personally, मैं बताऊँ, it was such a nice experience to be there, working with them. Very, very good vibes there in terms of लोग काम करना चाह रहे हैं MMA की तरफ, पता लग रहा है. And आपसे थोड़ी देर में मैं पूछूंगा about the history of Karachi and MMA and how it's been kind of on the sidelines. और अब एक हफ्ते के अंदर they've kind of flipped that on its head. But let me explain to you something जो मैंने कराची में देखा है, जो मैं बाकी इस्लामाबाद, लाहौर, पेशावर, जहाँ भी मैं गया हूँ शोज के लिए, मैंने नहीं देखा. Scale or magnitude event ka, it was next level. Same for Legacy, same for KO1. Over 1,000 people in attendance at KO1, 1,000 people in attendance in defense in Karachi. Every time someone from K7 Academy walked out, जब भी कोई K7 Academy का फाइटर बाहर आता था, मैं मजाक नहीं कर रहा, ऐसा फील कर रहा था मैं जैसे कि द रॉक मायामी फ्लोरिडा में वॉकआउट कर रहा है, या स्टोन कोल्ड स्टीव ऑस्टिन टेक्सास में वॉकआउट कर रहा है, या कोल्बी कविंगटन वेयर द फक इज फ्रॉम वॉकआउट कर रहा है. ब्रो, इट वाज इनसेन. दीस गाइज आर सुपरस्टार्स. इमान खान वॉकड आउट, द प्लेस एक्सप्लोडेड. हाजिक चांडियो, अब्दुल्ला चांडियो, अनिल खोकर, नतालिया, ऑल ऑफ दीस K7 fighters are absolutely mega stars in Karachi, and this was so good to see. Fighting was incredible. मैं बस जल्दी से समरी दे रहा हूँ हर चीज़ की. Fights were MMA and kickboxing. Shout out to Muzammil Aziz Park MMA management for putting together that fight card. It was a very good fight card. There was kickboxing. There was MMA. Everyone had great performances on the night. Jalal Hajizada from Afghanistan threw crazy things. I can't wait for these full fight videos to come out. Point being, K7 put on an incredible show. They had over, I think, 12 fights, and all of them delivered. It was a very good night fight-wise. It was everything else aside, the spectacle of it, the over 1,000 people, जो भी आप indicators देते हो एक successful event के वो थे. But KO1 had something which I think not any fight night, maybe other than Air Warriors, has had, which was a top to bottom card which delivered on every single fight. हर fight के बाद लोग खड़े होकर तालियां बजा रहे थे. It was incredible, and this was KO1. Now Bashir bhai, I want you to make something of that. What did you think?
This is amazing. I heard that there was a lot of people in attendance for KO1, and I wasn't too surprised to hear that, because K7 has been around for a long time. They have very deep roots in Karachi. But for a first show, I was you could say I was surprised to hear how many people coming out for a first time event, because this is their inaugural event. Although Jamil Chandio has put on plenty of other events in Karachi, but by KO1, by this name, this is the first event. So yeah, the crowd, and from what I understand, the crowd was very much into it. You know, these weren't people who just kind of stumbled there. You know, they were excited for who they were going to see. They were knowledgeable about the sport. This is a very passionate, organic crowd. That is what, to me, it was just like, I was really happy to hear that, really excited to hear that, because it shows great things for Karachi. That's my take on it.
Yeah, and that's the event overall. अगर हम थोड़े से fighters और fights की तरफ जाएं, I think the जिस तरह अभी भी fight cards होते हैं ना, main event and then people's main event. There were two people's main events, so to speak, in this. Iman Khan and Abdullah Chandio. I'm going to start with Iman Khan. Iman Faisal Khan showed up that night. I can't wait for the full fight video so you guys can get to watch it as well. Bashir, she put on a clinic against a national wushu champion, by the way, in a kickboxing fight. It wasn't like she was fighting a boxer in an MMA fight or a kickboxer in a boxing fight, or she was fighting the best in the country in her sport, which is kind of like wushu or kickboxing, close enough, right? And Iman's never gone through the national circuits. That's very interesting. She hadn't gone through like the Pakistan games and so Punjab or Sindh games and so on and so forth. She was just fighting point blank a kickboxing national champion, and she absolutely, in my opinion, won that fight very, very easily. Iman showed great hands and everything, great striking. Everything was as well put together. I think if she can keep active like this, Bashir, she is really going to be the next big thing. And that's what KO1 really solidified for me.
How old is Iman?
26 or 27.
Okay. How long has she been training?
Around, I would say now, 3 or 4 years, yeah.
Okay, all right. So there's a lot of potential there. That's cool. Yeah. What are the other fights that were? Well, how about the MMA fights? Haider Farman.
Oh yeah.
He fought. Yeah. How'd that fight go? Yeah. How'd that fight go?
Haider Farman. I mean, again, when I say it was like every time somebody from K7 walked out, there was one exception. When Haider Farman walked out, that place went crazy as well. Because like you said, these fans in Karachi, they're very knowledgeable. They know what's going on, man. I was really impressed by them. But Haider Farman walked out and he took on a very tough Afghanistani fighter in Nasratullah Langari. Nasratullah Langari, I've been seeing fight since LFC2 in Dera Ismail Khan. He had a great performance then. But against Haider Farman, I have to say Nasratullah Langari looked absolutely spotless. He beat Haider Farman in a decision. He basically out-wrestled him to a straight unanimous decision victory. There was no question. I don't think a single round went to Haider. I spoke to Haider afterwards and his coach as well. They're in the rebuilding process. Haider's been extremely active. And when I say extremely active, that means ARY Warriors, kickboxing fight against one of the best in the country in Abdul Wahab, then a kickboxing fight against the best in the country in his weight class through the national championships and national kickboxing champion. So and this was his fourth fight in less than 6 months, I would say. So, I mean, maybe he does need to stop taking on so many fights, and I think that's what we're going to do with him. And yeah, let's see. But Haider Farman, I feel like the sky's still the limit. It doesn't matter if he took this loss. I feel like it's a good learning curve for him and only going to get better from here.
Wow. I really wish I was in Karachi. That's all I can say. Yeah.
Dude, it was insane.
Okay, let's move on to Legacy
Fight Series, brought to you, of course, by My Gym and Bilal Bikku. What an incredible event. I mean, the people who were behind this event were true visionaries of the event industry. Arslan Shah, he is one of the biggest names in sports management today. He manages some of those guys.
What's his story?
Wasim Akram is managed by Arslan Shah. Okay. A lot of other big names as well are managed by him. So you understand what kind of presence. And this is necessary. Arslan Shah, we need Arslan Shah in PAKMMA. And he was there and he really did see some great fighters. But I would say not a great night for Pakistani fighters. A great night for Pakistani MMA because there's over 3,000 people. Young stunners played. There was a lot of crazy things happening on that night for sure, but the Pakistani fighters, Babar Ali lost in 43 seconds to a triangle choke against Noor Rahman Amiri from Afghanistan. 43 seconds. That was shocking. He caught a head kick.
But did this guy
He caught a head kick.
No,
Babar
go
did,
on, go on.
and then just decided. उसने कहा कि बस मैं इसके अंदर बज रहा हूँ आज. He just took him, slammed him, and the guy had his leg on him, so he easily just got a triangle and
straight into a triangle. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was sad. But Babar, I mean, of course, still one of the most skilled fighters. People say he's second to Ismail. He's 1-1 now in his pro career, though this was a very tough fight for someone's second professional fight in their pro career. But he took it and he lost. But, you know, that's the fight game. And then that was the first co-main event. Ismail Khan got his win, though. Ismail Khan absolutely dominated his Egyptian opponent. Start to end, Ismail ने ऐसी performance दी है जो मैंने बहुत देर से पाकिस्तानी MMA में नहीं देखी. Against somebody who's very experienced, like 14 pro fight थी उसके opponent की और इस्माइल ने उसको पकड़ के फेंटा है. There's no other way to say it. But then the main event, Rafiq Afridi, he lost to a fighter from Azerbaijan. Rafiq Afridi has never lost a fight in his life. तो ये उसकी जिंदगी के पहले loss थी against a very skilled Azerbaijani opponent. Other than that, most of the fights were all Pakistan versus Pakistan and one Afghanistan versus UK. Big event feel. It felt like it was WrestleMania. If you just look at the set, it was absolutely mind-blowing. But at the end of the day, the fight quality, if I'm being honest, not the best fights in the world. The fights themselves were not exciting, entertaining. Not all of them were. And then there were sparks of brilliance where the crowd would come alive. And also, just as a parting message from me on Legacy Fight Series, I think moving forward, we should not market MMA events as MMA event plus concert, because this was marketed as an MMA event plus a Young
usually not
concert.
Worked. Yeah, I've seen it across the board globally. It has usually not worked, because what happens, people will come for the concert, but then they'll leave right afterwards, you know, and it really kills the vibe.
Yeah.
You know, it does not work. SFL has done that. Affliction did it. Do you remember that? Affliction. Who did they have play? It was a big band too. Yeah, Affliction did it.
You
Others
keep talking. I'll look it up.
Yeah. Others have done it, and it has not worked. I think it might create some kind of vibes in the media, you know, to get out there, but it has not helped the MMA portion, you know, in the long term. Maybe for someone's first event to get people excited, yes, but then you would have to look at how many of those people stayed. If the stadium emptied right afterwards, then it's probably not a good idea to do it again.
So literally, youngsters came in, they performed, and then by the time they left, it was time for Ismail's fight and then Rafiq's fight, and most of the audience was not there, which, I mean, you know what I mean? It's tough. And again, I don't blame Legacy Fight Series. They tried something which has never been done in Pakistan before. So props to them for doing that. But I guess these are lessons. These are all lessons we need to learn. One thing, by the way, from a matchmaking perspective, every single fight, Legacy Fight Series, was wrestler versus striker. Mostly. I don't like that. I think that's a recipe for one kind of a fight. You know, when they say styles make matchups, I think not every style make matchup situation is a wrestler versus grappler. You know what I mean? Like, what do you think about this? Is this too generalized a statement by me?
I mean, so basically, if it's these are their degrees here, right? What does a wrestler versus a striker mean? Like, is it a striker who has very good takedown defense, right? Versus a wrestler who doesn't know anything, right? So like, there's a spectrum here. Like, what do you mean by wrestler versus striker? But if you were to break things down to like the primal level, right? Like, take a wrestler who has never done any other martial art and take a striker, say a boxer or a kickboxer who's never done any other martial art, the wrestler is pretty much always going to win.
Yeah.
Like, hands down, right? So, but once again, we're fast forwarding, 30 plus years.
Yes.
Into the sport. So when you say a wrestler versus a striker, what does that mean?
So
there's plenty of wrestlers out there that are knocking people out, right? And plenty of strikers there that have learned really, really good takedown defense and can stuff a takedown from like an Olympic level wrestler, right? So you have to kind of evaluate that statement a little bit. But
so the
breaking it down, like I said,
Go on.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, just breaking down, like I said, pure wrestler versus a pure striker. MMA math has shown us the wrestler will, I would say, 99 times out of 100 win. Yeah.
And the thing with Pakistani MMA is, and I feel like when you come back, which I hope is soon because I can't wait, when you come back to Pakistan.
It's in the works.
You heard it here
Yes,
first.
it's in the works.
But when you do come back here, and I hope there's a whole bunch of events lined up, or if not, we'll get them lined up. Screw it. But you got to see the fighters now. The way the game has evolved, even in the last 3 years of me covering it, it has been a very, very well. By the time I started covering it, the Khabib fever was already in full effect. अब तो यार कसम से जो भी पाकिस्तानी MMA फाइटर केज पे उतरता है, उसके दिमाग में होता है मैं खबीब नुरमागोमेडोव हूँ, मैं सिर्फ एक ही तरीके की फाइट लड़ूंगा, और वो है जी स्मैश एंड पाउंड, ground and smash pound. Dude, listen, I don't have anything against you being a wrestler if that's what you want to be. लेकिन अगर हर कोई अपनी ट्रेनिंग ही ऐसे करेगा कि भाई हमें पता है कि सबसे बेस्ट तरीका क्या है जीतने का, बंदे को पकड़ के नीचे गिरा के टक 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 राउंड खत्म, बंदे को नीचे गिरा के टक 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 राउंड खत्म, अगर इसी तरह लड़ना है आप लड़ो, आप फाइटें जीतोगे, आप शायद अपने करियर में बहुत आगे भी जाओ. लेकिन ट्रस्ट मी व्हेन आई से दिस, नो मीडिया आउटलेट इज गोना वांट टू टॉक टू यू अबाउट दिस इफ यू आर अ बोरिंग फाइटर. नो प्रमोशन इज गोना वांट टू साइन यू इफ यू आर अ बोरिंग फाइटर. एंड आई एम नॉट सेइंग देयर इज एनीथिंग रॉन्ग विद बीइंग अ बोरिंग फाइटर. आई लव जॉन फिच, बट ऑल आई एम सेइंग इज अगर आप अभी ऐसे अपना स्टाइल ही ऐसा बना दोगे एक फाइटर को देख के कि बस हम रेसलर हैं, दूसरा स्ट्राइकर है तो हम रेसलर हैं, आई डोंट थिंक दैट्स रियली गुड फॉर द स्पोर्ट ओवरऑल. एंड इट काइंड ऑफ annoys me when that's all we see in most of the fights. I see strikers doing this, like people who started as taekwondo fighters. They're like, oh, pakda niche gira ke tak 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 tak. I know it's hard to do. I know बहुत मुश्किल होता है. It's not easy. लेकिन यार अगर अपने आप को as a product, as a commodity आगे बेचना है, तो we need to see something more exciting. That's just what I think. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I agree with you, and certainly the Khabib effect is strong. You know, had there been from someone, a Muslim from a boxing background, who became an MMA world champion, then maybe everyone wanted to be a boxer, right? You know, I think that obviously has a big role with it. Now that being said, I love wrestling, right? And I'm glad to see that Pakistanis are now embracing a sport that is very intrinsic to the country. जो एक देसी खेल है, एक देसी martial art है, पहलवानी, क्योंकि लोग इसको ignore कर रहे थे. ये नहीं हमने स्ट्राइकर बनना है, हमने राइट, I'm gonna move around and do some flashy stuff, मैंने क्या ब्रूस ली बनना है, चक नॉरिस बनना है, right? But now everyone is finally going back to the roots, right, of you know, our desi roots, and going back to the Phalwani. So I like it, I like that. But what you say is spot on, right? Listen, in my capacity, in my professional work life, I see a lot of profiles come forward, right? And if I see decision, I don't care if you're 20-0. We might not sign you, you know? And that's like across the board, right? So if you end up using this, अगर आपका game plan है कि मैंने wrestler बनना है और आप जीत रहे हैं लेकिन आप finish नहीं कर रहे, तो फिर और आप चाहते हैं कि आप एक professional हो, तो फिर आपको इस चीज़ को evaluate करना पड़ेगा, re-evaluate करना पड़ेगा कि मैं क्या करना चाहता हूँ. क्या मैं सिर्फ जीतना चाहता हूँ, या मैं इसको एक करियर बनना चाहता हूँ, मैं इससे अर्निंग करना चाहता हूँ, right? Because you will have to finish. You're going to have to finish. It's so important. So important. You can, देखें, मैं प्लीज मेरी बात सुने, 5 साल का तजर्बा है दुनिया के टॉप स्टेज पे MMA के. अगर आप 5 फाइट्स प्रोफेशनल, मैं बस वैसे मिसाल के तौर पे कह रहा हूँ एज एन एग्जांपल, अगर आप 5 फाइट्स प्रोफेशनल बाय फिनिश जीतें, जो मर्जी, राइट, चाहे वो सबमिशन हो, ये TKO हो, ये बेस्ट इज KO रियली. लेकिन अगर आप 5 फाइट्स लगातार जीतें बाय फिनिश और अच्छे पॉइंट्स के साथ, ठीक है, एटलीस्ट आपके आखिरी 2-3 फाइट्स अच्छे पॉइंट्स के साथ, वो बेहतर है इसके निस्बत के आप 20 फाइट्स इन अ रो जीत रहे हैं ऑल बाय डिसीजन, इवन इफ इट्स अगेंस्ट हाई लेवल पीपल. ठीक है, दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. योर फिनिश रेशियो, कि आप लोगों को किस तरह फिनिश करें, कितना फिनिश करें, एक्सट्रीमली इंपॉर्टेंट. अगर आप आगे जाना चाहते हैं तो इस बात पे प्लीज ख्याल रखें.
And that is a very, very, very valuable advice to I think पूरे पाकिस्तानी MMA community के coaches, fighters सबको लेने की भी ज़रूरत है. And I will stand corrected. Actually आपकी advice मेरे से बहुत बेहतर थी. मैं तो बस एमी खबीब के पीछे पड़ गया था. It's not about wrestling or judo or striking or jiu-jitsu or whatever. You can be whatever kind of fighter.
Exactly.
It's about finishing.
Exactly.
It's about getting the finish. That's the most important thing.
You could be a high level boxer, right? But if your boxing is just like tap, 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 runaways, tap, 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 and you're not knocking people out, well, you could be the best boxer in the world. आप फिर एक boxer हो और आप पंजाब nationals जीत रहे हैं, आप ओलंपिक्स भी जीत रहे हैं लेकिन आप किसी को नॉकआउट नहीं कर रहे तो वो वैल्यू नहीं है को एक बंदा जिसको बॉक्सिंग नहीं आती लेकिन उसको लड़ने आता है और वो नॉकआउट पे नॉकआउट मार रहा है राइट
Exactly.
उसकी वैल्यू एमएमए इंडस्ट्री में ज्यादा वो नॉट अक्रॉस द बोर्ड ओलंपिक चीज एक अलग बात है बट लेकिन आप मेरे अंडरस्टैंड करें कि मैं क्या कहना चाहता हूँ राइट नॉकआउट्स फिनिश करना उसकी वैल्यू कैन नॉट बी अंडरस्टेटेड
और इसमें ऑब्वियसली अहमद मुश्तबा का भी एग्जांपल आता है आई मीन हिज करियर इज कम्प्लीटली चेंज ट्रैजेक्टरी सिंस ही गॉट वन नॉकआउट लेकिन चलें लेट्स स्विच गियर्स अ लिटिल बिट लेगेसी फाइट सीरीज़ की थोड़ी और बात करें अगेन इनक्रेडिबल इवेंट मैसिव स्केल वेरी वेरी गुड अपॉर्चुनिटी एंड मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंटली जो मैं चीज़ हाईलाइट करना चाहता हूँ लेगेसी के बारे में द बॉयज़ गॉट पेड nothing else matters. Boys got paid well. I'm not going to go into specifics because it's not my place to talk about what another man is making. But let me just say, compared to the standard that has been set by other fighting promotions, not by their own choice, obviously fighting promotions के पास पैसे नहीं होते, वो नहीं दे सकते. Legacy के पास पैसे थे, उन्होंने दिए हैं, काफ़ी अच्छे दिए हैं. Again, relative की भी बात होती है कि वो total कितना पैसा बनाया versus कितना दिए. हमें ऊपर वाला figure नहीं पता तो हम नहीं gauge कर सकते. लेकिन just by the Pakistani MMA standard, payouts were great. ये बहुत अच्छी चीज़ है. And मैं दाद देता हूँ Legacy fight series को. Hats off to you for paying the fighters, taking such good care of them, giving them the respect they deserve, making sure that they come out to the music they want to come out to, and everything was just spectacular. दो चीजें again, पहले हमने बात की about fight quality, which is a little off. Second was the broadcasting. I was on the broadcasting team. I'm not going to say much, but you guys go watch those fights and you figure out what was wrong with the broadcasting and you let me know. Because if I go off, Bashir bhai, this is going to be another entire podcast. But yeah, there's a lot of problems with the broadcasting, which I spoke to the management about afterwards as well. I said, listen, I've been doing this for a couple of years now. I have a little bit of experiences. Let me handle this next time. Let me decide who does what and where and why and when. Anyway, you just watch that. But that's, again, stuff you can fix and I'm sure not too unpleasant to everyone. And then the third thing, which we have to kind of take away from this, was the Afghans. They started another brawl. I don't know what to say. This is our fourth or fifth episode of The Godfather and Podfather. अब हम तीसरी दफा डिस्कस करें कि अफगानियों ने आके यैन मचा दिए. क्या मसला है यार? I don't understand.
I don't know. मैंने इस बात पे काफी सोचा है पहले अभी भी नहीं अब कितने सालों से इस तरह होता है right कि अच्छा अफगानी आता है right I'm sorry I don't like to even have to say someone's nationality when bringing this up right but it just keeps happening right our brothers have very close Afghani friends right but ये बार होता रहता है right this is a trend so we're talking about it right because it's not like this is ये नहीं कि एक दफा हुआ है ये दो दफा हुआ है पिछले 10 साल में 10-15-20 दफा हुआ होगा right so many times लेकिन for example कोई आता है right उसका opponent बीमार हो जाता है he can't make it whatever the case may be right we cannot find a replacement हमें replacement नहीं मिल रहा शोर मचेगा कि नहीं मुझे रिंग में लेके जाके खड़ा करने के मैं जीता और मुझे मेडल देना है and it's just like why right like why is that like I get it you came here but you didn't fight you didn't win right and there's no point in that it looks very juvenile right it looks just very juvenile and very immature right it's something a kid would do a baby so I don't understand my feeling my speculation that I thought a while ago कि जब अगर कोई फोटो मिले कि ये रिंग में खड़े होकर जीता है right हो सकता है क्योंकि उनके गवर्नमेंट से उनकी फेडरेशन से ये स्पॉन्सर से उनको कुछ मिलता हो right कि ये आया ठीक है फाइट भी नहीं मिली लेकिन टेक्निकली ऑन पेपर वो जीता है right तो देखो वो गरीब घरों से आए होंगे so हो सकता है out of desperation out of you know wanting to do something उन्होंने ऐसा किया हो right but you know it's not always that simple ये भी होता है कि फैसला किसी और के फेवर में गया हो right same thing right same thing
और इस बार यही हुआ था
you're gonna come in you're not gonna yeah it's just it happens over and over again
I think
and I would like to see maybe I need to go back जाके अफगानी MMA को देखना चाहिए SFLC वहाँ पे कितने बार होता है ये हो सकता है वहाँ पे नहीं होता
हो सकता
है मैंने काफी स्नो लेपर्ड फाइटिंग चैंपियनशिप देखा है लेकिन मैंने कभी इस तरह का वाकया उसमें नहीं देखा तो हो सकता है उनको पता हो कि इसको कैसे हैंडल
Yeah,
करना है
yeah. I think तरीका है
right,
KO1 पे, for example, KO1 पे एक भी मसला नहीं हुआ, and there was at least 3 or 4 Afghani fighters fighting. So again, ये कहने का मकसद नहीं है कि पूरा अफगानिस्तान ऐसा है या सारी
नहीं, बिल्कुल नहीं,
अफगानिस्तानी
बिल्कुल नहीं,
MMA
हाँ,
कम्युनिटी
हाँ,
ऐसी है. It's just कि कुछ लोग
हम्म,
आते हैं और वो आपके पूरे मुल्क का नाम बदनाम करके अपनी अफगानिस्तान की बेइज्जती करा के जाते हैं. जैसे कि अभी लेगेसी फाइट सीरीज में डिसीजन हुई थी आकिब वर्सेस एन अफगान फाइटर इज्जतुल्लाह मजरू. Akib, I thought, won that fight pretty convincingly. You can go watch it if you want. Good fight, tough fight, but I think Akib won. End में decision announce हुई Akib के favor में. And अच्छा, एक चीज होती है कि चलो हम थोड़ा यैंड मचा के चले जाएं. उन्होंने कहा वो केज में बैठ गए. वो बैठ गए, हम नहीं जा रहे, हम जा ही नहीं रहे. और फिर खैर, I mean, anyway, but again, not to say that Legacy was a bad event, but just these things which needs a little bit of fixing. हर event पे हो जाता है कुछ ना कुछ. ARY Warriors पे एक पूरी brawl erupt हो गई थी, तो मतलब होता है, it's part of the game.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, needless to say, Bashir bhai, the thing that I'm hoping for is Legacy keeps doing events, which Bilal Bikku tells me he is going to be doing. That Legacy keeps giving fighters this kind of a platform, this kind of coverage. It was live on Geo Super. You know what I mean? Like, this is pretty crazy. First time I think MMA has been live on Geo. Not live, sorry. It was on Geo Super. It was pre-recorded, but first time MMA was on Geo Super. Excellent. Hats off. Legacy fights.
ये बताओ कि इसका रिस्पांस पे क्या है. जियो सुपर पे आया है, ARY पे ARY वॉरियर्स आए थे. जब ये टीवी पे आता है उसका रिस्पांस क्या आता है? इसके कोई इंफॉर्मेशन है?
Ratings, yeah. I've been trying to get the ratings for ARY Warriors 1. The only thing they told us for ARY Warriors 1 was it was the highest rated sports segment in any ARY Zindagi. You know, because they do play sports on ARY Zindagi often, and tab tak A-Sports launch nahi hua tha. So it became the highest rated segment, but it was mainly because I think we were on at August 14th, like 14 August pe air hua tha. Uske alawa, we haven't gotten any like ratings for that. Geo Super ki bhi nahi aayi. But the thing is, ARY Warriors 2 is coming. I'll break that here if you guys want, but it's not. Of course, it's coming. Aa raha hai ARY Warriors 2. Abhi date वगैरह मैं कुछ नहीं बताऊंगा, but ARY Warriors 2 is coming, which is indication that ARY Warriors 1 was a success, right? कि ARY Warriors अच्छा लगा था, ratings wise, sponsors wise, सब कुछ उनको पसंद आया, तो वो अब 2 करा रहे हैं. Geo Super पे अब देखते हैं. I think they've been wanting to do MMA for a while. उनकी काफी interest थी, and if there's a Legacy Fight Series 2 on Geo Super, I think so far that's the indicator कि अच्छा यार ये चल गया, कि अगर वो दूसरा शो कराएं तो मुझे उम्मीद है कि चल जाएगा. Because from the grand spectacle of it all, it was very amazing. Like, it was such a big stage, so many people. It was in the heart of Karachi. Everything was great. So, you know what I mean? Hats off to both Legacy and KO1. I think Karachi was a success for PAKMMA. And it's the turning point for Karachi, man, because they've been sitting on the sidelines and all that for so long. Hats off to them. How much time you got, Bashir? I'm just gonna ask you straight on the air.
Not much. I gotta get ready. I just for my iftar, I just had my watermelon, mint, and coconut water.
I think the last thing you can make a little bit of time for, because that is our boy, Uloomi Karim, the Kratos,
yes,
Shaheen, with the win, back in the win column, baby.
Yes.
How are you feeling about that?
Yes. Oh, I feel great. I was there live. I brought my son. I was sitting next to Anita Karim.
That's
right. So it was a nice, homely, everyone sitting together. It was supporting Uloomi. Domination from pretty much from beginning to end. Domination. I think, Uloomi could have finished him in the first round, but the referee, for some reason, they got to the edge of the ring, and the referee stood them up again.
Yeah.
And Uloomi was had the guy maybe in mount or half guard, but I mean, he was taking off him. Domination from beginning to end. So very happy to see Uloomi has fought his heart out, had some amazing fights, but has been on a losing skid for a while. And I mean, he hasn't had a win, and this is his first win in 6 years.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously that's not because he fought so many times and lost, but he hasn't fought that much time, that many times in a while, and so very good. I'm sure he's in a burn has been lifted off of his shoulders, and let's see how he does. I mean, Fairtex Fight Promotion, it's a new promotion here in Thailand, and they'll be putting on shows weekly. Expect to see more MMA. If there's a good opportunity for Pakistanis to come. Anita fought on Fairtex Fight Promotion as well.
Yep.
She'll probably be fighting soon again. So for Pakistanis coming to Thailand, this is an opportunity to possibly, if you are at that level, to get an opportunity to fight on a promotion that has very strong ties to international leagues like One Championship and has the backing of a very strong brand such as Fairtex. So I'm excited. I'm really excited for Fairtex Fight Promotion, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah.
But going back to Uloomi, yes, amazing. I will be visiting him soon, I hope, training with him a little bit, and yeah. So it's been great. I was really happy to see that, and very happy to feel actually the burden lift off of having all these really tough fights.
Yeah.
Really tough, and coming out on the wrong end of it. So kudos to him.
Yeah.
Everybody loves Uloomi. I really think he is in the talks for truly being a people's champion.
Yeah.
No one has anything bad to say about the guy. So yeah, how did you feel? See that? I think everyone was really happy.
How did I feel? In case you forgot, he's the god of war. That's how I felt. That's Kratos, by the way, the little Kratos figure I have.
Wow.
No, dude, seriously, I was so happy. I can't even begin to tell you.
Uh-huh.
Uloomi is a friend. He's like a brother. It is just incredible to see him back in the win column after 3 losses. And you know what I mean? It's just a testament to his story, which, by the way, if you want to know his story, go watch our podcast with Uloomi. It's on the channel. But he's never had an easy fight in his life. He's never been dealt an easy hand. He's never been dealt an opponent which he knows he can beat. It's never been like that. Even this guy would look like an absolute beast, but Uloomi completely neutralized him. I think there's 2 things which I want to take away from an analyst perspective. One, I think the move up to bantamweight is brilliant. I think Uloomi looked big. I think he looked good. I think he looked healthy. I think he looked powerful. Secondly, I think what he showed in this fight was, again, the kind of fighting style which I wish Pakistanis would adapt to as well. You get the takedown, you work that neon belly jiu-jitsu, beautifully done, sharp elbows, each and every one of them I think landed, and he got the finish, brutal finish in the second round. I agree, it should have been stopped in the first. So all in all, to say that Uloomi Karim Shaheen is back in the win column, I'm so happy that this is happening, and I think it's only up from here, because like you said, they're putting on shows every week. Anita's fought once. Uloomi just fought. Uloomi looked relatively unscathed, so I can't wait to see him get back in there again. And in case you need a ring announcer, Fairtex Fight Promotion, the number is 0923244. No, I'm kidding. But no, for real, I mean,
you can't speak Thai. Yeah.
I'll learn.
Have to brush up on your Thai.
I'll learn. I don't care. You got to teach me some ring announcing Thai, Bashir, and I swear to God, I can get this shit done, man. I'm not even joking.
Okay.
But no, it looked incredible. The event looked so good. Uloomi looked so good in there, and I'm just so happy. I think all of Pakistan needs to be happy about this. So we love you, Uloomi. Congratulations from us. Go watch the fight over at Fairtex Fight Promotion Facebook page. It is uploaded in full. Any closing thoughts, my friend? I know you were in a hurry, but I will ask you any closing thoughts overall.
It's been a long time. We are not going to wait this long again.
Yes, sir.
I have been harassing this guy for like a month to get this podcast for like a month. Look at his face, right? He's probably going to edit it out, but look at his face.
No, we'll keep it in.
Right? So, yeah.
No, that's my apologies, guys.
That's all I got to say.
I'm always the guy who's like, oh, fuck it, we'll be there. We'll do it live and, nonstop. I needed a break. All right. I was close to breaking. Like, if you even go watch the podcast we did before around Karachi, I was just sad. Like, I was not happy. I'm feeling happy again. I'm feeling energized again. And we are going to do this every week. And you are going to subscribe to the channel. And you are going to keep it tight. And I love you, Bashir. And I'm sorry there will not be a delay like this again. Thank you all so much for watching. And please stay tuned to The Godfather and The Podfather. And yeah, just be happy, be safe, support PAKMMA, and keep it tight. We will see you soon. Don't go anywhere.